Thank you so much, and it's really a pleasure to be here. I've been asked to speak for just a couple of minutes about the role of government and what we do in government to work with clean energy. And then it's going to be my immense privilege to present not one, but 2 awards to Newton, one a Newton organization and the second to a Newton teacher. So I am the president of the Newton City Council. That's my night job. My day job is I'm a lawyer in Boston. I work with a lot of businesses, including a lot of startups and closely held businesses. And I have tremendous respect for the work that all of you in the private sector do on a day-to-day basis, running your companies and building your companies. So let me just share a little bit of perspective about the role between the public sector and what we do in the city and what you all can do to help us and help us all collectively. So the good news is this: Newton is completely and totally committed to a green environment, in particular green energy. And anybody who's followed what we do in the city knows that. That's from the way we do the ordinances we pass, the buildings we build, the support we provide for people who want to do this kind of work. And that is critical. And we have a very important role to play. But we don't do it alone, and that's where all of you come in. We need your help, quite frankly. Most of us are not experts in the field of clean energy, and that's typical of government elected officials. You come in with a pretty broad portfolio, so we need your help. You need to educate us, you need to explain things to us, you need to make sure we understand things, and you really have to help us as to why we're going, what you want us to do, what's best for the environment, can be done in a cost-effective manner. And that's really critical for government folks, because we obviously have to balance a lot of competing interests as we try to make our decisions. And so the more you can explain to us, the more you can teach us, the more you can partner with us, we're going to do a better job setting policy in the city. We're going to do a better job building clean energy buildings in the city. We're going to do a better job of educating our residents on the potential and the value of clean energy. So it's a partnership. We really need you to work with us, and we encourage it. And that segues into the first award that I'm so privileged to give, which is to Green Newton. Is Judy here? I didn't see it. Come on up. So I'm going to just say a very quick word about Green Newton. Judy, thank you first of all for your leadership. I'd be remiss if I didn't call out Marcia Cooper, the past president, extraordinary leader of Green Newton. Please give her a round of applause. She's really done a terrific job for many years. What I'll say to you, Judy, and I want to make sure you have a time to speak, is Green Newton epitomizes what we want in an advocacy group in the city. You're knowledgeable, you're persistent, you educate us, you work with us, you help us do our jobs much, much better. And as policymakers, we may not always agree with every single thing that you would like us to do, and that's okay, because we have a lot of competing interests. But you make our city a far better place in which to live and work, and we're incredibly grateful for your hard work and your dedication. So Judy, on behalf of, this is yours and your words. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, and thank you to Kristen and her whole team for this recognition and for this inspiring week. I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of the board, the advisory board, the members, and our volunteers who have worked tirelessly for 34 years. Can the Green Newton members, board members, please stand up just so you're acknowledged? Green Newton was founded in 1990 when Newton resident Louise Bruin attended an environmental conference and learned about climate change. She was so inspired by this challenge that she decided she wanted to create an environmental organization, and she went right home and talked to people who had her same passion and formed the Green Decade Coalition Newton. And that was because they were going to solve climate change in 10 years. So we did change our name a little bit later to Green Newton, but that spirit of optimism still drives our work and is a guiding force in everything we do. We heard about crazy before, and this is optimism. So I'm going to share just a couple examples of how we've done that. In 2019, Passive House, I'm sure all of you knew what it was in 2019, but most developers did not know in Massachusetts. But that didn't stop Green Newton leaders from asking developers to meet Passive House standards and to require it for our endorsement, which was highly sought after. And this was a crazy ask, but first one, then 2 developers agreed to meet those standards. And fast forward, after a lot of work with the city and businesses and residents, the passive house construction is now required for all multifamily buildings over 12,000 square feet. In addition to building standards, we're advancing innovative technologies like network geothermal, which, as all of you know, is the potential for very efficient heating and cooling. And just this week, as part of the Mass Clean Energy Week, we hosted a community meeting to begin the process to explore whether we can do a pilot project on network geothermal in Newton. And as we accept this award, we know that there's big challenges ahead, but at Green Newton, we believe we have the power to make a difference in our own community. So inspired by Louise Bruin and Green Newton's 34 years of volunteers and leaders, we look forward to working with all of you to create a livable future fueled by clean energy. Thank you.